Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm back at it again with another video. So, and mind you, I watched the media scrum last night until I got super bored after, I want to say after Private Party. They had their little sit down. I realized, okay, just another media scrum where we're not going to get any news. A bunch of stupid ass news reporters going up there asking the most stupid fucking mundane questions because they don't want to anger anybody. We don't want to ask any will questions. Mind you, they do that with AEW though, right? Typically, not all the time. When CM Punk was there, it was a little bit more funner. But then you go to WWE and they got 1,000,001 questions to ask about Vince McMahon and the scandal. You know, they talk about Triple H and the race issues and stuff like that. Mind you, those are valid questions, and I don't have a problem with questions like that, but you can ask some legitimate questions to AEW and press them like you press WWE. You let Tony Khan get away with the no comment, no comment, no comment, no comment, no comment, till it gets to the point where you guys realize that you're not going to get anything out of him. So instead, you flip it and you ask him the most mundane fucking questions possible. And it's not to say that they don't do the same thing with WWE, mind you. But what I'm saying is, what is the point of these media scrums anymore if you guys aren't even going to ask legitimate fucking questions anymore? Like, these are just lame ass sycophant fucking going up there. Let me suck your dick. Let me suck your dick. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. But I'm talking about all this because, of course, leave it up to Fightful, right? People amongst other podcasters and everybody else in the upper echelon of the wrestle bro, that's why I call them the wrestle bros of professional wrestling when it comes to YouTube and social media, who set the standards that some of these retards and the companies that are now in the higher up positions listen to in order to regulate their content because they're afraid to piss off their stupid ass audience because they themselves want to virtue signal and put across what it means to actually be a good person when watching professional wrestling, right? So I'm saying all this because this builds up to this point right here. You have this girl. Let me not call her any names because I can see the type of person that she is, and she's the kind of person who would strike my channel if I were to pick at her. So let's just call her Bates, right? Let's just say that, let's say her name is Bates from Fightful, right? Let's just say it like that, okay? And Bait from Fightful, and what I mean by bait from Fightful is that she baited Bobby Lashley to ask a stupid fucking question, right? She tried to get him to answer this fucking race baiting ass, stupid ass question. Mind you, Bait is a white girl. Just keep that in mind, okay? She's one of those white guilted people who believes that everything has to be social justice in order to bring up the reform of society to make sure everybody is in coordination with what's good and what's virtuous, because everybody and everything has to be reformed if it means that you are being bullied or victimized, no matter how long ago it was or what connection it has with you as a person today. But I digress though. She baits Bobby Lashley into asking this question about how does it feel about being a person who wrestles Swerve Strickland for a championship, and you know you're black and he's black, and you know this is the new racism. You know, the new racism in today's day and age is to pretend to be virtuous by consistently grouping you in with another person who looks just like you, but we're going to be sly and spin it into a positive way, right? They don't realize how racist they are when they do that, but that's fine. It's okay, okay? She asked this question and Bobby Lashley completely shut that shit down like a fucking boss. Like a fucking boss. He says straight up, okay, don't like that. Let's not do that, okay? Let's not do that. Not speaking verbatim here, by the way, but he doesn't like that. He doesn't want anything to do with that, okay? As I've been saying for the longest now, professional wrestling, when it comes to the context of race, has been normalized, right? Right, black people are not on the back of the bus anymore. Okay, we pick where we want to choose, and ironically enough, we sometimes choose to sit on the back of the bus still, but that's just irony. We're not going to go into that. My point being is, though, Bobby Lashley completely shut that shit down by suggesting, hey, in the end of the day, I'm no different than anybody else when it comes to being the champion, which he's not. He's Bobby Lashley. From a name perspective, within the context of professional wrestling today, he's one of the bigger names. So why the fuck does he have to rely on his race? Same thing with Swerve Strickland. Within the context of professional wrestling today, in particular AEW, Bobby Lashley, you could say overall within professional wrestling. Swerve Strickland, maybe he'll get there, maybe he won't. We'll see. He's on the right path right now. But within the context of AEW, he's arguably top 3 biggest stars in that company that's not from WWE, or at least made their name specifically from WWE. Let me say it like that, right? He's more of an AEW guy now than he ever was a WWE guy, even though he came from WWE. You get what I'm trying to say? And obviously, yeah, that's the right approach. That's the approach that we should be taking. We should not be using our race. We should not be using our skin color to make up for whatever we lack or whatever we gain. Now, there's nothing wrong with, obviously, you see how you look like and you want to be a representative for people who look like you. I think actually that's what Isaiah was saying last night about a private party. He was saying, yeah, I go back to the community and I want to show out for the youngins who looked up to me, and they say to themselves, well, damn, I'm black and he's black and he made it. So damn, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I see nothing wrong with that at all whatsoever. Nothing, whether you're white, black, Puerto Rican, Haitian, girl, boy, alien, whatever. You see someone who reflects you as an immutable characteristic and you say to yourself, damn, yeah, bro, that's really fucking cool. I want to aspire to be that. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. What I don't like is that you make the representation as a whole your overall aesthetic as to what you want to be. Going like that dude, Stokely Hathaway. Literally every goddamn single fucking thing he talks about comes right back to being black. Almost everything, literally every single fucking thing comes back to being black. Again, it's nothing wrong with holding a position in regards to your skin color and then saying to yourself that, yeah, man, I'm proud to be what I am. It's another thing to make that your overall character, your overall identity. I've said it once and I'll say it 1,000,001 times. Black comes like probably 100th in the lineup of things that I care about that makes me who I am. I said it once and I'll say it again. The top 3 things that make me who I am is my family, in particular my kids and my girl, my name, right? All that, and what value I actually put into society as a whole. That's it. The things I do, how good's my name, and my family. Skin color ain't nowhere near the top of the charts when it comes to that, not even remotely fucking close. Not to mention, how I look at it is, all my ancestors, they did everything and anything to make the American dream more achievable for me as time goes on. It wasn't, we need to get revenge on Whitey, and therefore all the things that we're doing, we're paving the road for you to take advantage of so you can stick it back to Whitey. That was never the case at all. I forgot who it was. I think maybe it was Frederick Douglass. I could be wrong about this. But I remember somebody, I think it was Frederick Douglass, who says something along the lines of, he wasn't fighting to be separated to go back to Africa. Not speaking verbatim here, right? He was fighting for our freedom to have America hold up its end of the bargain of having all men be created equally and given opportunity equally. And that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it with most of my ancestors. I do not want to go back to Africa. Why would I want to go back to Africa? First off, I'm Trinidadian and, Bahamian and Haitian. So that's one thing. But like overall, as far as like going forward in regards to like the continent as a whole, why would I want to go back to Africa? No, America's so much better. Like not even fucking close. You got all these socialists out here, all these people who want to pretend that America's so horrible and so bad and so stupid and so this, so that. They can't name me one thing in the history of America that America has did that is categorically wrong to gain its independence and to make sure that its structure right now benefits everybody who's today benefiting off of it, even the people who are taking America and then using it as a way to gain the system by constantly calling it all the negative things while still being in America. They can't tell me anything that America's history in regards to what it's doing or what it did that no other country didn't at least attempt to do and fail at it, or at the very least they did succeed and right now they're thriving for the most part, right? They just don't thrive like America because we're fucking awesome. We had common sense to consistently go back and constantly, put money into our military, into our infrastructure to give us the most stable defense in the entire fucking universe of humanity. And on top of the fact that we take advantage of our surroundings in regards to defense. But That's the whole thing. That's people like Fightful, and that's people like Bait, and that's people like everybody else around the surroundings in regards to professional wrestling that take the victimization. And then, like I said, it's all wrestling activists in the end of the day, right? They take every perception of professional wrestling and the merit in regards to why it happened or how it happened or what we should do going forward. If it doesn't meet their perception in regards to equity, then that in itself should be just thrown away. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. If you see a superstar on the lower card who happens to be, say, for an example, black or any other kind of minority, for an example, or they're a female or whatever the case may be, it can't just simply be the fact that the content that we want to see at the moment just strictly doesn't involve what they bring to the table. Has nothing to do with character, has nothing to do with the skin color, has nothing to do with the sex or the orientation. It's just that they suck. They bring nothing else to the table outside of just the wrestling in itself, 9 times out of 10. That's it. That's it. They bring nothing else to the table besides that. And everything in regards to professional wrestling currently at the moment does that. It's boring. It's stagnant. It's cliche. But they purposely ignore that because in their mind, the merit in itself comes strictly just from the wrestling. Because what entails the wrestling is putting your body on the line, right? It's consistently hurting yourself, right? All these things that they value most of all versus somebody else who actually has skill, who actually puts asses in seats, whether it be by their character, whether it be by the way they cut their promos, stuff like that, on top of the fact that they're good wrestlers. Or hey, maybe they're not good wrestlers. But they look at it as one person having to injure themselves, hurt themselves, whatever the case may be, right? They put their bodies on the line more than the person in comparison who doesn't hurt themselves as much, who doesn't put their bodies on the line as much, but they put asses in seats, right? Like I said, merit does not mean anything to these people at all, or at the very least, if for nothing else, at best, they choose what merit is important versus the other merit. That's the whole thing, right? And that's the entire aesthetic when it comes to the wrestling activists currently right now in the IWC. You know, I don't pick on these people because they're easy to pick on, because they have more subscribers and stuff like that. No, why? What benefit would that be? If you had more subscribers, for an example, say that you had 400, 500,000 subscribers, and your mentality was to bring back certain things about, say, for an example, the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression Era, why the hell would I be opposed to that? That's what I want. I want more promos, okay? I want more reasoning to care about the wrestling. I want the important things in regards to the wrestling to happen on the pay-per-view, so you give me a reason when to buy the pay-per-view. That's what I want. If you have a bunch of subscribers, for an example, 500,000 subscribers or whatever the case may be, and that's what you're promoting, then of course I'm going to be on your side overall. I may disagree with him on politics, but almost everything in regards to Jim Cornette, I absolutely stand by, and it's not even fucking close. Why would I disagree with any of that? What I disagree is people like a Wrestling with Gret, people within the Fightful sphere, people like What Culture, people like Cultaholic, people like WrestleMania. These people who don't think like that, because in the end of the day, their bottom line, the things that they think about, the things that make them the most money, is being safe and playing it safe. Because here's the funny thing when it comes to people like Bait from Fightful, or people within Fightful overall, or people like a Brian Zane or whatever. They choose if they decide to be edgy, they choose what to be edgy about. They know what is safe. It's safe edginess. They know what they have to say, and they know what they need to say, so they don't piss off their audience, who, by the way, have been educated, whether it's through the wrestling sphere, whether it's through politics as a whole, whether it's to how they carry themselves on Twitter, they see their favorite creators or whatever the case may be. They live in this environment where two things happens, right? Especially if you're within that environment and you happen to be in the minority, they typically look at themselves as being oppressed, as being victimized, right? And the oppressed and the victimized, based off of the narratives told and lied to by them in regards to mainstream media, or maybe the people within the wrestling activist social network, or whatever the case you want to say, who are pretty much indoctrinated by the mainstream media in itself. They take that narrative and they bestow it upon themselves, so they feel whatever they say going forward for, it's going to be righteous and it's going to be virtuous. So they look at what the content creators are doing, and the content creators, they themselves say that they don't want to piss off that audience because that audience are going to try to virtue signal, and then they're going to try to rival up an audience to get pissed off at these creators, who are then in turn going to try to backpedal. They're going to, you know how this goes. It's been happening for well over a decade now. The things that is now considered to be horrible and edgy and you have to completely pretend as if this wasn't a thing that was normalized just over a decade ago. And we're not talking about things that consistently, for an example, affect other people, like on face value. Like obviously, talking about, for an example, saying the N-word, for an example, right? That's bad. But even then, that's kind of hard to take, because then you'll allow other black people to say the N-word, but it's supposed to be, then they make up an excuse, but well, it's our word. It's your word to call yourself pathetic and a loser and stupid, because that's what the N-word means. It's our word. We're going to take it back. Take back what? Take back, what are you talking about? That's what I mean. And then they flip it around and man, you're ignorant, you're Uncle Tom and all this other kind of stuff. You can tell me that's something else too. Uncle Tom this, Uncle Tom that, but at the same time, you're for black and black empowerment. No, you're for your ideology. You support your ideology. It has something to do with black empowerment. It's what makes it's whatever you support at the moment, right? And what you support at that moment is all that matters in regards to what correlates with your politics. And more importantly, what correlates with your politics is what you want to be done in society to make sure your life is easier. Has nothing to do with race, has nothing to do with skin color, has nothing to do with any of that, because if that was the case, you wouldn't be trying to hold back another black man from his opinion. You wouldn't, right? You wouldn't do that. But when that opinion differs from your opinion, then it doesn't matter what skin color you are, because you went after the ideology. And then you have people who are white guilted, like Bait from Fightful, who use this experience in order to get herself over because she wants to feel virtuous, right? It's all in, it's an end game. And I've been saying this for the longest, man. These people need to be kicked out of professional wrestling. They don't care. It's inconsistent ideologies. Whenever think about it for a second. We look at the women. I said this multiple times. When I say something on the lines of, I want to see women on wrestling, and I want them to get naked or strip or do bra and panties matches and stuff like that. One, like, who said that they had to stop wrestling? Who says? In the end of the day, you're still within a macho, testosterone-driven business. Now, I know you guys are advocating to get rid of that because you guys suck, but at the same time, that's the business that you're in currently at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of what I would like to see, right? And it's not as if they don't do it on Instagram. They don't do it on any other social media platforms. I just want what they do there to take it to professional wrestling. I mean, it's empowerment when they do it on any other social media platform. And if you were to call it out, then you're slut shaming. But when it's done in professional wrestling, for some reason, it's a bad thing. You guys are inconsistent within your ideology and your practices, right? Or joke telling, for an example. The amount of jokes I said on NXT or any other women or anybody else, I pick on race. I make crude jokes like coming on people's faces and stuff like that. I've said that plenty of times about the girl within I forgot her fucking name. Oh my God, with Chase U, Thea Hell. I said it plenty of times. I want to come on her face. Why? It's a joke. It's a crude joke. You would think it's a joke. Everybody knows it's a joke, but that's what I'm saying. They take that, right? And then they misconstrue it on purpose because they need to have an argument to go against you because what you said in regards to that crude joke, it doesn't fit their premise of what they're trying to get across in professional wrestling or in the world in general. Because like I said, they have taken the culture and they have somehow combined it with their politics to make them who they are. That's all I'm saying. Stop it. It's gross. It's lame. It's terrible. All right, you're not fixing anything. You're looking for a problem and then you're trying to fix it, even though you created the problem because you looked for a problem. You're not helping anybody. You're not a good person. You're a terrible person. All right, everything about you sucks. Fightful, Wrestling Regret, all you guys suck. You're terrible people. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Good on Bobby Lashley shutting that shit down. I am so happy, and hopefully Bait from Fightful gets super embarrassed, and hopefully she doesn't pull it again. She probably will, because this is the only way she can get over, because that's who that audience is. So I mean, wishful thinking, but good on Bobby Lashley nonetheless. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to how you felt about the commentary. And yeah, I'm about to go get out of here, and I'm gonna go goon to Mr. Beast News, because that's what I do when you guys aren't looking around. I goon to Mr. Beast News. His girlfriend's hot. Let's get it going. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smark, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, and free my nigga Ricky Starks. Deuces, P.I.s.